today's topic is mass and weight from the chapter number 10, gravitation. Right? So, you guys are probably mixing two terms, mass and weight, together, but don't get confused between these two things. These two things are always different from each other. Let's see how it is. First of all, let's talk about mass. What is the mass of an object, right? So we have already learned this term, mass of an object, in the sem 1 in the chapter 8 and the chapter 9, right? That mass is the measure of inertia in an object, right? So याद करो क्या था inertia, right? Let's take an example, right? So what will happen if I take a glass? On that glass I take a cardboard, and on the cardboard I place a coin, 5 rupee coin. Let's see like this. A glass. On that glass I have taken a piece of cardboard, and on that cardboard piece I have a coin. Right. We know that an object does not change its place, otherwise it is the force applied on it. Right. So what will happen if I click the cardboard? I am just applying the force on the cardboard, not on the coin, right? So what will happen? The cardboard will change its place, but because of the mass of the coin, which is not variable, right? Because I have not applied force on this coin, I have just applied force on the cardboard, not on the coin. The coin, because of its mass, will tend to remain its position. मतलब कि वो अपनी पोजीशन को जो है प्रिजर्व रखेगा, प्रिजर्व रखने की कोशिश करेगा, ठीक है? It will not change its position because the force is only applied on the cardboard, not on the coin, right? So the measure of inertia is, we are calling the mass. Now we know that mass of an object is not variable when we change the place. मतलब कि भाई mass जो है, mass of you, mass of me, mass of any object, any place, it is not variable. It is constant at every place, right? Here I am going to compare mass with weight, right? तो जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि mass of an object is constant everywhere. Measure your mass over Earth, measure your mass over other planet, measure your mass on the moon, on that matter, it will remain the same, right? But weight on the other hand is something else. Weight on your weight on the earth is something, but if you go on moon and try to measure your weight on the moon, it will give you another value of the weight, right? Let's see how that occurs, right? For that thing, okay, so now we are going to learn what is the weight of any object, right? So in the first sum we have learned that the weight of an object is due to the force applied by earth on that object, right? So let's here take the mass of an object m, the force applied by earth on any object, right? That is the weight. That weight of an object is derived by the force that is applied by earth on any object, right? So it is a force applied by earth, right? And we know what is force by the second law of motion. We know that F is the product of acceleration and mass, right? So what are we going to do over here? That we get confused between mass and weight, right? Why we should not get confused between these two things, we are going to derive that, right? So first of all, let's know what is the weight of any object, right? Weight of any object is on the earth. अगर हम माने कि earth पे weight किसी भी object का क्या होता है, right? So it is a force applied by earth on any object, right? अगर फोर्स है तो हमें फोर्स का इक्वेशन लिखना पड़ेगा, राइट। वी नो दैट फोर्स ऑफ एनी ऑब्जेक्ट इज द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ मास एंड एक्सेलरेशन, राइट। मास ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट एंड एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट, right? Now we know that if we are studying weight of any object on earth, we know that acceleration due to gravitation force of earth is denoted as A equal to G, right? So let's put the value of A as G in this equation, right, which becomes F equal to M into G, right? So now the force that is applied by earth on any object is the product of its mass and the acceleration due to the gravitation force of earth, right? Okay, so now as I have also said it many times in this video also, that weight of any object is the force applied by earth on any object. So we can take this F, which is force, as weight of any object, right? मतलब क्या हुआ कि यहाँ पे जो F है उसको मैं weight के साथ रिप्लेस कर सकता हूँ, right? weight यानी कि W. Now what is W? W represents the weight of any object, right? So यहाँ पे मैं लिख सकता हूँ I am replacing F with W because it is also the force of earth on the other object, right? So it becomes M into G, right? So here we can get the value of weight. कि भाई weight होगा क्या? Weight will be the product of mass and the acceleration of an object by the gravitational force, right? तो यहाँ पे हमें पता चलता है कि weight of an object किस पे डिपेंड करेगा? Weight of an object depends upon its mass and the acceleration due to the gravitation force, right? Now let's talk about the unit of weight, right? The unit of weight is also taken as Newton and Newton. Why? In the chapter number 8 we have studied that the unit of force is N, यानी कि Newton, right? Unit of force is N, यानी कि Newton. Then what is weight? Weight is also the force that is applied by earth on any object. That is why we can take the unit of weight as Newton, right? Okay. So now moving on to the next thing, that how we are going to measure the weight, right? We know the weight of an object varies from place to place, right? Why is that, right? तो अगर हम यहाँ पे g की वैल्यू देखें किसी एक ही प्लेस पे, पहले तो बात करते हैं ऑन वन प्लेस। अगर हम बात करें किसी भी एक ही प्लेस पे हम दो चीजों का वेट मेजर कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो वो किसके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा, ठीक है, बिकॉज द प्लेस इज सेम, राइट। एक ही प्लेस पे ग्रेविटेशन कांस्टेंट g जो है, सॉरी द एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटेशन फोर्स जो कि g है, उसकी वैल्यू एक प्लेस पे तो सेम ही होगी। वी हैव डिराइव्ड इट व्हिच वाज 9.8 इनटू 9.8 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर, राइट। हमने ये चीज डिराइव की थी, राइट। सो द वैल्यू ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटेशन इज 9.8 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर। एक ही जगह पे एक्सेलरेशन की वैल्यू ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटेशन वो कांस्टेंट ली जा सकती है, right? So in this equation, if we take g as constant, we can take value of g as 1, right? So if we take g as 1, what do we get? Weight is equal to the mass, right? मतलब यहाँ से हमें पता क्या चलता है that weight is directly proportional to mass, right? कि भाई वेट जितना वेट किसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि मास के ऊपर। मास जितना ज्यादा होगा वेट भी उतना ही ज्यादा होगा। दिस इज द रीजन why all the people get confused between weight of any object and mass of any object, right? कि क्यों हम वेट और यानी कि द एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटेशन जो है वो तो सेम ही होता है, ठीक है, दोनों पे लगेगा सेम। अभी वो इट ऑल्सो इट ओनली डिपेंड्स अपॉन द मास ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट। इफ द मास ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट इज ग्रेटर, weight will be greater. If the mass is less, then weight will be also less. So this is the reason why we should not get confused between weight and the mass, right?